Greetings, Glitter Gang, and welcome back to Kathryn Scraps Live. My name is Kathryn, and this is the Vintage Staples album. So what I am going to be making on YouTube is a kind of, it's a photo album. It's going to have places for photos and all that with the vibes of a junk journal. So lots of tags, lots of pockets, paper bags, all that stuff. And I'm starting the series by breaking down the staples that I have in my collection and remaking them and giving you the dimensions so you know how to make them. Okay, so next up, so we've done the Celebrate bags from Michaels. That was in part 2 of this series. And then in part 3 of this series, we did a bunch of stuff from Seven Gypsies. And now we're just doing like random stuff I have in baggies. I may or may not know who is the group. Okay, these I believe are Graphic 45 though. Okay, so we've got little baby coin envelopes, tiny little paper bags. Let's check the size of these paper bags compared to the others to see if it's worth recreating them. I mean, I think they're similar enough in size that I don't need to do this tiny little bag. I think they're similar enough in size, so I'm not going to do another paper bag. I just happen to have it. We have a larger coin envelope, and then we've got a few different tags. So, and one of them I stamped on who knows how long ago. So, okay. All right. I have been using the ColorMates Smooth and Silky cardstock in the color Fresh Cream to get this manila look. So that's what I've been using. You can get it at the Paper Mill store. That is where you can get this cardstock. And I used it for all the Seven Gypsy stuff, and I'm going to use it to make tags now. All right, so these are shipping tags. And I don't know what number they are. This one is 10, not 10. I don't know. I keep saying 10 because I'm lining it up on the 10 on my mat. But it's 6 1/4, 6 1/4, 6 1/4 by 3 1/8. Good rule of thumb with shipping tags, by the way, is they're twice as long as they are wide. So you can kind of make them any size and they'll look like a shipping tag. They'll have the dimensions of a shipping tag as long as they're twice as long as they are wide. So these are 3 1/8 by 6 1/4. And then these smaller ones, which these are higher quality, I can feel. These are the clay coated ones. These are 5 1/4 by 2 3/4, 2 5/8. Okay. All right. So the tags then. Tag number 1 is 5 1/4 or 2 5/8 by 5 1/4, and then number 2 is 3 1/8 by 6 1/4. Okay, and if you wanted a tag big enough to hold a 4x6 photo, we'll just call that tag number 3. It would be 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Now, is it going to poke out of our album? Maybe. Our album's 8 1/2 inches, so, you know. All right, let's get to it. All right, so first things first. Okay. So I'm going to cut this out of this, and then this one I'm going to cut out of this one, and it'll just have like a gap in it. Again, it's just for visualization. But I do love mini file folders, so by the way, let me hold this up so you can get a screenshot, or, you know, pause and watch the recording, you know, do whatever you got to do. Everyone will have access to this recording, regardless of whether you're watching live, have access to the archives, whatever. This is a freebie. Okay, so through 2 5/8 by 5 1/4. Ah! Oh my gosh. Ah! Sorry everyone for screaming in your ears. I just turned towards my trimmer as he was walking up the stairs, so it was very creepy. Even though I asked him to come up here and do this for me, so I knew he was coming, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can know someone's in the house. I can know someone's coming. I have an extreme startle response. What causes it? Who knows? Hi, buddy. Uh-huh. Hi, thank you for putting your butt there. I appreciate it. Okay, and I said I was going to make one more. What'd I say? 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Just to show you that no matter what size you make it, it will look like a shipping tag as long as it's twice as long. Okay, can you? Oh, okay, but I need you to get off the trimmer though. Okay. Can you walk? Can you just put your feet? Can you just put your feet right here? You're gonna. Okay. It's fine. You know what? It's cool. I don't need it. I don't need to use a trimmer. It's whatever. I have another trimmer, dude. So yeah, you're not the boss of me. You can't control me. All right. So here's our 3 tags, okay? Now, the question is, what color is this? You know, so the kind of standard tag hole reinforcer color, what color is that? Let's see if we can find a match in the swatch book. Let's see how close we can get. All right, so maroon is an option. Maroon's a little more vibrant, but I think it's okay. Cayenne pepper is a little, it's just, do we want to be a little redder or do we want to be I think cayenne for sure, huh? Yeah? So this is cayenne. Cayenne's a little oranger, but maroon is purpler. And I think it's cayenne. I think it's cayenne. Cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper. All right, cayenne pepper. Again, this is ColorMate's Smooth and Silky. I created this swatch book so I can always tell you exactly what color cardstock I'm using if you want to be able to get it yourself. You can get it from the paper mill store. Okay, now normally, so this shape, okay, the question is, you know, do we want to try and recreate this shape? How hard do we think it would be? Would it be worth it, or is a circle just fine? I personally think a circle's just fine. So I'm not going to worry about it. Why stress yourself? Why stress yourself? Okay, so what I like to do is I like to make hole reinforcers out of 1/4 inch hole punch and 3/4 inch hole punch. So basically I'm just going to take a 1/4 inch hole punch and punch a bunch of circles in the edge. Okay. Then I take a 3/4 inch hole punch and I center that hole punch, and then it flings in my face. Okay. You need 2 per tag. And this one's too close, so I can't get that one. All right. Easy enough. So now we've got our hole reinforcers, so it's just a question of getting our hole reinforcers attached to our tags. So the step one is I'm going to use the large angle punch, and I'm going to punch the corners of all of my tags. This tag, I think this chomper is full, but I'm just going to try and muscle through. But yeah, it's it's definitely been chomped. All right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a dot a 1/2 inch in, and centered on my tag. So what I did is I centered my tag on my mat, and that way I knew where the center was. So once again, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to center my tag on my mat. Going to come in a 1/2 inch. Place my dot. Okay. And same thing here. Gonna center my mat. And place that there. All right. And then we're just gonna come with our hole chomper and center that dot in the 1/4 inch hole chomper. And I just frame it right up in there. And there we go. Okay, perfect. All right, now all we have to do is add our hole reinforcers, and glue I find is what works best for this. And I just put little dots of glue in a circle around the hole, and then I drop my hole reinforcer down, and then just press it into place, flip it over, and repeat. Okay. All right. Then just do that 2 more times or 4 more times, depending on how you're counting, fronts and backs, or fronts. And that's how you make tags. And of course, you can make your tags out of whatever materials you have, but like I said, the thing that's going to make them look most like shipping tags is going to be manila file folders. And I'm going to see if I can get a match to this marigold color. Wouldn't that be hilarious? If there was a good match to the kind of marigold that like the old school coin envelopes are made out of in my swatch book. All right. And just like that, we have 3 tags with very officey looking, I mean, they look a lot like the kind that you would buy for actual shipping tags. So we're doing really well at replicating here tonight. I, of course, have lost my glue lid. Here it is. So here we go. All right. So next, let us work on coin envelopes. So we have a couple different styles here. One is, and then here, one more time, here's the sizes. Okay. All right, and then this color, cayenne pepper, fresh cream, All right, let's find out what is marigold. Okay, I'm not feeling great about this because this gold that I have is very intense. But let's see. All right, so, I mean, look how green this orange is making the caramel look. Like, it's just making it look like a mustard. It's orange. It's called caramel. Now, the solid gold I find to be a green gold. And then this is mustard. Mustard is, so. All right, so here we have pumpkin. And pumpkin's not quite bright. By the way, I also have this color pumpkin pie. Can you tell the difference? I need to go look it up on the website, but I think they're the same color. I think the name just changed. So we have light gold and then gold. Probably the closest, and then actual orange. Yeah, so light gold is going to be my closest if I want something. But they all look so green compared to this because this is almost like a brown. Almost kind of brown, you know? So interesting. Get back on there. Stop trying to escape. This is what happens when your swatch book is too full. All right, so we don't really have a good orange. That's fine. We'll just make them manila. All right, so this one's an actual no kidding coin envelope. So I can extrapolate the measurements from this. So, okay. So it's 3 3/8 by 6. All right. I could use the tags to make a card. That's true. And we could also fold them up like little file folders even. So I think we can have a lot of fun with this one. Okay, so if this is 3 3/8 by 6, then I am gonna make it 3.5 by 6 just to make it easier on my brain. So that would mean that the piece of cardstock is 7. Okay, to get the front and the back, it's got to be 7 inches, but we need another inch for the 2 1/2 inches that overlap here. Okay. So it's 8 inches. So the cardstock is, so coin pocket, 8 inches. And by this big tag would make a cute little square card for sure. For sure, that would be cute. Okay, coin pocket. Okay, so 3.5 plus 3.5 is 7, plus an inch for the overlap is 8 inches. Okay, so it's 8 inches wide by 6, we know, but plus we need this tab, which is an inch, and then this tab, which is 3/4 of an inch. I'm surprised. It's actually bigger than I thought. So 6 inches plus an inch and 3/4 is 7 3/4. Okay. On the 8 inch, you're going to score at 3.5. No, actually, you're going to score at, it has to meet in the middle. So the way you figure that out is you subtract 3.5 from 8. So 8 minus 3.5 is 4.5, and then you divide 4.5 by 2. And that's where your first score is. So your first score is at 2.25. Then you score 3.5 inches over from that. So then you're going to score at 5 3/4. Okay. All right. And then the 7 3/8 inch, you're going to score at 1 inch and at 7 inches. Okay. All right. There we go. So Melanie says she has a bunch of heavy chipboard tags and she doesn't know what she was thinking when she bought them from Tuesday Morning. They probably would make a cute tag album. Or you could use the tags as the covers to a rectangular album so that you were using square or rectangular pages. I'm actually caught up now on which tags we're talking about making things out of. Okay. And then these little baby ones, these are going to be a little bit different in that they are going to have string closures. Now you could put a string closure on any of the coin pockets. So it doesn't have to be this one. Coin pocket number 2 is, let's see, 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. So you cut one piece that is, okay, so 2 1/4 plus 2 1/4 is 4.5, and then we add an inch, so that's 5.5 by 3 3/4 plus a 1/2 inch for the bottom here, so that's 4 1/4, and then this is still an inch, so 5 1/4, so almost a square. And then this one is going to get scored at 5 1/4 minus, or 5.5 minus 2 1/4 is 3 1/4. So 1 5/8. Is that right? Why can I not math? I'm just, you know, I've been adding and subtracting fractions for so long. You think by now I would be like remotely good at it, but no. No, 1 5/8. All right, so we're going to score at 1 5/8 and 1 5/8 plus, oops, 1 5/8 plus 2 1/4, 3 7/8. Okay, so 1 5/8 and 3 7/8, and then on the 5 1/4, we score at 1 inch and 4 3/4. Okay, so these are the coin envelope measurements. Okay, these are the coin envelope measurements. So once again, screenshot as you desire. All right, we are going to oh, tiny cat. Tiny cat's sitting on the floor looking grumpy. Tiny, why are you so sad? Why are you so sad? Okay, so this is 8 by 7 3/4. And we're going to score on the 8 inch edge at 2 1/4 and 5 3/4. Okay, 2 1/4 and 5 3/4. Then we're going to turn and And we're going to score at 1 inch and 7 inches. Okay, so I'm making coin pocket number 1. All right, so, okay, fold along all the score lines and burnish. Okay, and then we're gonna do some trimming. So turn it to the inside, okay? And get your ruler and line the 1/8 inch line of your ruler up with the score line, okay? So we're 1/8 inch line of your ruler up with the score line. And you're gonna cut down to the score line and up to the score line, okay? Down to the score line and up to the score line. Okay, so that kind of like frees the bottom. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna trim those off and remove the score lines as well. So, okay. And the reason you do this is if you cut 1/8 of an inch up from the score line, you leave that gap there. First of all, the gap will not be visible because the bottom covers it, but that's gonna, it's just, it folds together nicer and there's less like wrinkling down here because you have less material. All right, so now we can give it that curve. And theirs is a fancy little swoop. We're just gonna do a 1/4 inch punch, but that's okay. Oh, let's do a 1/2 inch. Yeah, let's do a 1/2 inch. Yeah. Okay, and then it's the same thing at the top. You want to line the 1/8 inch line of your ruler up with the score line. Why do I have the hiccups? And you're going to cut once again down from the, you're welcome, have a good night. Going to cut down from the edge to the score line and then again from the score line down to the edge. Okay, and then we're going to cut this corner. And round. Okay. And that's, I mean, that's basically, that's a coin envelope, right? So the only thing else I do is I'll use the 1/4 inch side of the rounder to round these, just so that where they show, they have that more finished look. But that's a coin envelope. And of course you could get a coin envelope that looked like these by making them out of pattern paper. That's all you have to do. Okay. So how do you stick this down? Very simple. You just take a piece of tape and put a piece of tape on the edge. And then on the other side, fold this other side over and put a piece of tape on this edge. Okay. They need to be on opposite sides of the folder. And then you just peel the tape, close it. All right, and then you put a piece of tape on this flap and you're done. Easy, 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 easy. Dun, 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 dun. Doing it. Yeah. Okay, now you're done. You do not have to sing that song, but it will work better if you do. It will work better if you do. Okay. All right, so that's how you make a coin envelope. So let's make a tiny one. Let's make a tiny coin envelope. All right, where's my measurements? All right, 5.5 by 5.25. All right. I'm just gonna let me just patchwork everything together. Okay. So this is 5.5 by 5.25. And I'm going to score on the 5.5 inch edge at 1 5/8. And 3 7/8. And then I'm going to score at 1 inch and at 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Okay. All right, so all right. So I've got this scored. Okay. And then I'm going to score here and here. And we are going to put our score line at the 1/8 inch mark. Put our score 1/8 inch above our score line. And score down, or cut rather, not score, cut down to the score line. And then up, or then from the score line to the edge. Okay. And then cut those corners off. All right. And then we'll go ahead and put our piece of tape on here. I think the stationary items will work if you use A4 chipboard. The only one that that is a maybe is this one, because A4 is slightly narrower than 8.5. This tag that's 4 1/4 by 8.5. This tag would just hang off the edge just a little bit, which is fine. I mean, if you, like, I don't mind the look of tags poking out, you know what I mean? So I think A4 would be totally fine, Jill. I don't see any reason why not. And then if you didn't want it to poke out, okay, then I would just skip that one, you know what I mean? And I think it'll be totally cool. All right, so then same thing. Now that we've done the bottom, let's do the top. Cut down to the score line. And again, this is 1/8 of an inch below the score line, so that we're cutting below the score line now. So on the bottom, we cut above the score line. On the top, we cut below the score line. So, but yeah, I think you can totally do this with A4. Like I said, the only stationary item that I think would be weird at all would be the one that's 8.5. And I don't, like I said, that's a personal preference. If you like things poking out the edges, then go ahead. And if not, just skip that one. Okay. All right, so now we'll do this flap, the 1/2 inch. But all of the other stationery items will fit A4. All right, so with this one, just gonna okay. And then bottom up. Obviously that looks terrible because I have a cut there, but it's fine. All right, and now I've got my little babies. My little babies. Now, if you wanted to do a twisty tie, okay, on any of yours, you would just add that to this flap before you glue it shut. So let me just show you what that looks like. Okay. So you just pick where you want it to be. So just kind of measure, like say you wanted a 1/2 inch, an inch down from your, a 1/2 inch down from your flap. Okay. All right, so then you would poke your hole here. Okay. And then all you have to do in order to make the closure is just put a brad through a disc of cardstock. So we'll just get 2 3/4 inch circles without holes in the middle. Of course, it flew onto the floor. Okay. And then if you want to know where the center of this is to know exactly where to punch the hole for your brad, just fold it in half and then fold it in half again. Okay. And then there we go. All right, so I'm gonna take that brad. I prefer brads for these types of closures to string, but you can use whatever you have. Go ahead and set your brad. Okay, and then put your tape. Okay. And because the brad is between the layers, see it's smooth on the inside, so you won't have to worry about stuff getting stuck. Okay, so to do the top, all we have to do is mark the center of this. I just eyeballed it. You can measure. I've never had the legs of a brad cut a string. That doesn't mean they can't. It just hasn't happened to me. All right, and then set your brad legs on the top. And I forgot to add a string, but that's okay. String can be added. At any point, you just need a little bit longer of a string if you need to add after the fact. Okay? So all right, and now we're gonna go tie it in a square knot. That's what I always use. And then I'm gonna I don't know why I added it to the bottom. I normally add it to the top, but whatever. It is what it is. All right. There we go. Coin pockets. Couple different ways. Baby coin pocket. Normal coin pocket. Once again, there's your measurements. There's your measurements. Okay? All right, that's coin pockets. So to finish out this segment, let's make some file folders. All right. So let's, first of all, let me gather all my little staples and staple bits into their bags. Put the tags in one bag and everybody else in the other bag. It did want to be different. It did. I could. Aw, kitty. 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 Hey. You're all right. Come up here. Kitty's doing that thing where the cats walk around the house with a toy in their mouth, like sadly crying because they don't see anyone and they're bored. They want someone to play. Can you hear Kitty? Kitty! Come on, Kitty! Kitty! It's 10:30. That's when Kitty thinks the show is over. That's pretty much when she comes up every time, huh? Kitty! Come here. Hi. You want to say hi? You want to jump up? Yeah? No, you don't? You want to hop up on this desk, Kitty? Mer? I know, it's messy. You're right. You know, you have a point. You have a point. It is a messy desk. It is. All right, ready? You gonna come say hi? You gonna come say hi? Can I move this? How about that? What if I move that? Will that make you happy? Well, are you okay? Are you okay? You found a person? You're okay, huh? Because you found a person. All right. Okay, so we've recreated all of the staples that I own, that I just had lying around my craft room. So now it's just a matter of, you know, are there other staples we want to make, such as file folders? And of course, I think file folders are always a yes. So we will make a file folder. I just want to make sure. All right, she's already flopped down behind my chair, so she's happy as a clam. Are you happy as a clam? Are you a happy clam? Okay. All right. So Kitty has decided she's not going to come say hi. She's just going to sit behind my chair and try and trick me into rolling over her with the chair so she can yell at me. But joke's on Kitty because I'm on to her tricks now. I'm on to her tricks. Kitty, well, would Kitty like to eat a clam? I don't know if Kitty would like a clam. You know what Kitty really loves is chicken. Especially like, but she also really loves tuna. And in fact, she loves tuna so much she ate a spicy tuna roll even though it was hurting her tongue. But she wouldn't stop eating it. So that's how much Kitty loves tuna. But she loves chicken. If you have a chicken wing, she just will sit and stare at you and trying to will you with her mind to peel the skin off and give it to her. She just loves chicken. Loves chicken. Okay. So, here is my idea for the mini file folder. How we can do it. All right, so let's get a piece of cardstock. I'm going to do it 6 by 8 so that I can just fold this in half and then cut it. But I'm not going to cut it to 8 inches. I'm going to cut it to 10. Okay? So I'm going to cut this to a 10-inch strip. All right? I know, Tiny Cat's rolling around on her back trying to be all cute and get me to love her. Okay, these cats are really trying their best. They're trying their best. Okay, so I'm going to score this at 6. I'm going to score it at 5 5/8. Okay, 5 5/8. Right? No, that's not right. No, that is right. That is right. Okay. So 5 5/8. And then what I want to do is from the 5 5/8, I want to I want 3/8 inch of a tab above it, because that's what the hole punch does, right? 3/8 or the punch board. Let me just check. Thank you for not moving, Kitty. I appreciate it. All right, so this yeah, 3/8. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take my ruler and I'm gonna line the 3/8 inch line up with the edge of the cardstock. And then I'm gonna do something funky. And you're like, uh-oh, she's doing funky stuff. What? Not funky stuff. Okay. Okay, so now the top is 3/8 inch taller than the bottom, which is what I want. Okay, now, okay, here's where we're gonna get funky. Take this and put this on your craft board, your scoreboard, and score at 1 inch and 9 inches. Okay. And then flip it over and score at 1/4 inch and 9 1/4 inches. And then flip it back over and scored a 1/2 inch and 9.5 inches, and then leave it. Okay. All right. So you have something that looks like this. It's got lines on the sides. All right. Now, an inch in, okay, cut, an inch in, cut down to all the score line that's all the way in, and down from the score line that's all the way in, okay? So that you have like this. All right, and then an inch up from this score line, do the same thing. Okay, so you're going to cut down to this most innermost score line, and then up, and then down from the most innermost score line to the edge. Then, same thing over here, except you want to add that 3/8 of an inch. So instead of 1 inch, okay, well, actually, no. You can just cut now, cut. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove from the top down okay. All right, so you have something that looks like that, and you're like, Kathryn, what the heck are you making? Like, seriously, you'll see. You'll see, because I have a vision in my mind, and I think it's good. Do I know for sure it's good? No. No, I don't. But I think it is. Okay. Not sure where she's going. Look, it's fine. Okay. So now what we're going to make is a file folder with sides so that we can bind it into the book here and stuff won't fall out. Okay. So I'm going to chomp at 3 inches and on the edge, and then flip it over and do the same. Chomp at 3 inches, and actually you don't have to chomp on the edge on that one. Well, might as well. Okay. All right, then, okay, you know, on this one, remove the tab. Okay. And then on this one, we're going to remove the knot tab. All right. So now it looks like this. It looks like a file folder, right? But it has these little accordion dudes so that when it's bound into a book like this, it's not gonna lose its guts. I just invented it. It's like if an accordion folder and a file folder had a baby, but the baby was a genius. Okay? If they had a genius baby, if they had like a Stephen Hawking smart level baby. That's how good of an idea this is. Okay. So now all we have to do is just put tape on these tabs and then close it all up. And that is how we will make a file folder that nothing can fall out of. I mean, stuff is gonna still fall out of it because it's still open on the top, but it'll be semi-functional versus totally non-functional. So there you go. So it's an improvement. It's an improvement. Excuse you? Did you just growl? Oh, you're throwing up? Great. Oh my gosh. Look at it. It's too cute. It's too cute. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I love it. We have to make so many more of these. Ta-da! So when we go to put this in the book, okay, what this will enable us to do is take this little file folder and put it into the book's rings, like just like so, just like everything else, and it'll turn on the ring like everything else, but we'll be able to tuck stuff inside and not have it fly out the bottom. So, and because of the size, we can put wallets to hold 4x6 photos or 4x6 photo mats or whatever. Look how cute it looks just sitting there though. How cute is that? Okay, so let's go over the measurements of this guy. All right. So it is 6 plus 5 5/8, so it's 11 5/8. Okay, file folder. Okay. Okay, so width-wise, it's 10 inches. So it's 10 inches by 11 5/8. Okay. On the 11 5/8 inch side, you score at 6 inches. And then tab. Okay. And then on the 10 inch edge, you score at 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. So that's 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 inch. And then on the other side, it's the same. So it's something, 9.5. Okay, 9.5, 9.25, and 9. All right, so it gets scored at 1/2, 3/4, 1, 9.25, 9.5. Okay, so that's how you make the accordions, and then you just cut it as I showed you and cut into side straps. We'll call them side straps. Okay. All right. So there you go. So that is the enclosed mini file folder. The mini file folder of no escaping. No escaping. Okay, so those are the measurements for no escapee file folder. All right, so we've got the file folder. We've got, what else did we make? We made tabs. Did we not make, no, we didn't make these. Oh yeah, we made these tags, and we made, and what else we made? These, and coin envelopes. So this is what we made in this video. So we've made all the staples, at least everything I've thought of so far. So what we're going to do in the next video, which will be, remember, will be on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time. So the next class is on Monday as a National Scrapbook Day after party. By the way, everyone have a wonderful National Scrapbook Day, a wonderful Mother's Day if you celebrate Mother's Day. I mean, you know, and then we will begin with the actual decorating, inserting, and all of that on Monday. So we've finished all the staples classes, and then on Monday what we're going to be doing is we'll be starting combining everything, decorating, and all of that. So we've made all of our little extra bits. You'll have these videos to refer back to. It'll be in the playlist so that I won't have to, you know, necessarily go over these every time, or I can use the pre-made ones or whatever. But that this will be here for you to reference for this project on my YouTube channel. So thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful National Scrapbook Day, a wonderful Mother's Day, if that's something you're celebrating. And then I will see you on Monday, May 8th, question mark, May 9th, Monday, May 9th. At 2 p.m. Eastern USA time, and then we'll do another show on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time, and no show on Thursday evening next week. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying this project, this vintage staples project, as I use up supplies that have been in my craft room for a decade. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.